friends, happy Fri-Yay! This is our last star project for the month, can you believe it? And we are going to be doing one of my favorite things. I wonder if you can guess by looking in what's left in your star project bag. Now, you're going to be using everything that's left in there. So, reach on in. This is all that you should have left if you've done your star project bag correctly. You should have a half of a paper plate. Makes a great big smile. You should have two long brown rectangles, a lighter brown and a darker brown. Then you are going to have a bunch of little orange squares, three of them, and then you are going to have three rectangles. You should have a blue, a yellow, and a red. And then you're going to have a little bag of some googly eyes. The materials you're going to need today from your crayon box are a pair of scissors and a glue stick. So, go ahead, get out all of your materials from your star project bag and put it off to the side. We are going to be making some birds today in bird nests. Now, I don't know how many of you know about birds and birds' nests, but not all birds build nests. Nest is something made of sticks and leaves, dirt, different materials that birds find, and they put in their beak, and then they fly up, usually into a tall tree, and build a nest. It kind of comes into the shape of a little bowl, and that's where a lot of birds lay their eggs for their young. So, one bird that we actually have out at my farm is called a cowbird, and that's a type of bird that doesn't lay their eggs in the nest. And then they usually lay their eggs in other birds' nests, which is kind of crazy because that means they don't do the work of laying and creating the nest. They wait till a different bird does it, and then they fly in and they lay their eggs in that bird's nest when that bird is gone. So cowbirds, they don't do a lot of the hard work. Today, we are going to be making a nest for three birds. So, since I said a nest is kind of in the shape of a bowl, we're going to be using our half of a paper plate. You are going to be using the dark brown and the light brown to show or represent the leaves or the sticks or the twigs. So, you're going to take out your paper plate and your two sticks. Now, when I do this, I really like to tear the paper because it gives it a little bit more texture. You're welcome to use your scissors and cut little pieces of the brown paper, or you could tear them and it gives it a little bit more texture on the edges to make it look more realistic, like something you would actually find in nature. So you're going to start, keep tearing. I'm tearing and I'm dropping right onto my paper plate so that my art project kind of stays all nice and neat together. So, keep tearing little pieces, not huge pieces. You want to tear nice small pieces because you are making the bird's nest. So, once you have them all tore, tear, 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 tear. You might not need to use it all, and that's okay. We're just going to use what we want to. So, I'm going to take all of my brown pieces into my hand, and then I'm going to be putting glue on the side you do not eat on. So, the side you eat on, put face down, open up that glue stick, and then you're going to be putting glue all over the paper plate. So, remember, we've talked about if you want to put a piece of paper down underneath your art project, because that way it prevents us from getting glue all over the table, not a place where we want to have glue. So yours should look like this, and then you're going to start picking up your pieces and gluing them down. If you choose to put glue over the whole plate, you need to move pretty quickly because the glue will start to dry, and that way we won't waste it. If you want to just do a little piece at a time, that's fine too, but go ahead, start covering up all that glue. You might want to spread it out a little bit and do kind of like a pattern where you do light brown, dark brown, light brown, dark brown. But whatever you do, try to cover up as much of the plate as you can because that's going to pretend to be their nest. So you want to pretend you have some sticks. Maybe you have some dark leaves that have died so they're not green anymore and they're brown. You're also welcome to take your glue stick and rub your pieces on and then glue them on. It's your choice, but this is probably the part of the the art project that's going to take the most amount of time. So don't feel a need to rush. Just try your best and cover it up. Some friends in class, they choose to color their plate brown. You're welcome to do that too. You don't have to use the brown construction paper because it's your star project. So you can do what you want and make it how you want. But I like it when I have construction paper. It kind of adds a little bit more texture to my project. So keep on gluing. If you run out of construction paper and you don't have enough to cover your plate, you're welcome to take a brown crayon and color it in. So go ahead, keep gluing. I think that's actually going to happen to me. I don't think I'm going to have enough brown paper. So I will have to color mine later when I have a brown crayon next to me because I don't have one right now. So go ahead. Add all that brown construction paper to your nest. Cover up as much of the white part as you can. And then, when you're done, put the cap on that glue stick. We don't want it to dry. So I am going to have to finish coloring mine later because I've run out of my brown construction paper. So I'm going to start my nest right here. Once you're done with your nest, I want you to put that off to the side. And you're going to pick up those 3 colorful rectangles. Now, we've done this before when we did the bumblebee wings. You're going to take it and cut it into a curve because we're going to pretend it's the top of each bird's head. So you're going to hold up your rectangle and you're going to cut a little curved spot just like this. And you're going to pretend that that's one of your birds. You should just have a little bit of scraps. So go ahead and do it 3 times. You can go in whatever order you want. Cut, cut, cut. Nice curve. I have one more. You shouldn't have a lot of scrap if you've done it correctly. Cut and curve. There we go. All right. So I'm going to have my 3 birds. Now, you can put them in whatever order. You could do red, blue, yellow, red, yellow, blue, blue, yellow, red. But you're going to be putting glue right here at the bottom of the bird, and we're going to pretend that they're sitting in the nest. So when you're ready, I'm going to start with blue because blue is my favorite color. I'm going to put a little bit of glue right at the bottom of the blue, and then I'm going to tuck it behind the nest so that we can pretend they're sitting in the nest. Oh, there we go. Next color I'm going to use is red. I'm going to do some glue. Now, you have to make sure you put them right next to each other so that they fit in your nest. If you spread them out too much, there's not going to be enough room. After red, what's my last color? Yellow. I'm going to put my yellow bird into the nest. I'm going to push. If you've done it correctly, it should be behind the nest. Don't put it in the front. Put it in the back. Now, once your birds are ready, what do birds have right here that we have? Our eyes. So I'm going to take, you should have enough googly eyes for all your birds. So there's 3 birds and each bird has 2 eyes. How many eyes do we need? So we're adding 2 plus 2 plus 2. How many is that? 2 plus 2 plus 2. 6! All right, so I'm going to take my googly, I'm going to put it on my glue stick, rub, 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 and then put an eye on each bird near the top. I'm going to push down so I can make sure it sticks. Kind of right there at the top. You need to leave room for their beak or their mouth, so make sure you put the googly eyes near the top and then make sure, oops, I didn't push hard enough or long enough, so my eye just popped off. Here we go. There's 1 set of eyes. Keep on gluing till you have all 6 eyes glued down. Once you have all your eyes glued down, you are going to be ready to work on the beak, which is kind of a tricky part. So, going to need to make sure we listen and try our best. Ugh, these googly eyes are kind of funny. Now, you might have an extra googly eye in your bag in case you lost one or in case one fell off, because we used them before for our Earth Day guy. So you might have an extra. If you have an extra, you can save it for a future art project. Now, I got my googlies. I used enough glue. They're sticking on. They look kind of silly. All right, next thing we're going to do is make a beak. Now, a bird's beak is nice and pointy and sharp, and that way they can eat or carry things, and it won't fall out of their beak. So, you are going to find 3 squares. Now, right now it's in the shape of a square, but we're going to do some magic and turn it into a triangle. So, you're going to take your square and turn it sideways so it looks more like a diamond, and then you're going to fold it together so that it forms the shape of, what is that? A triangle. The triangle is going to turn into their beak. So, this is the tricky part. You have to follow directions on this one. If you have your beak correctly, it kind of looks like this. You're going to put glue on the bottom part, so just one part of the triangle. So you're going to take your triangle piece, just one part. You're going to rub that triangle on your glue stick, and then you're going to glue that part down under their eyes so that it looks like a beak. All right, let me see. Does yours look like mine? I glued just one part of the triangle, and that way the bird has their beak. All right, I'm going to go to the second square, turn it sideways, pinch it closed so that it makes a triangle. Now, you want the points of the triangle to be exactly matching each other because that's the way a bird's beak works. Then take your triangle, rub it on the glue stick, and put it down for the next beak. Ooh, I did my blue beak and my yellow beak. All right, I'm going to do one more. Take my square, turn it sideways, fold it so that it makes a triangle. Oh, I cannot wait to see your birds. I'm so excited. I love birds. I love watching for birds. I love learning about birds. Oh, I hope you love our birds as much as I do. Now, when you are done, your nest and your birds should look just like mine. Now remember, if you ran out of brown paper, you can take a brown crayon or a brown marker and color in the rest of your nest. Take a picture and send me your birds on Seesaw. I cannot wait to see them. Good job, friends.